Welcome class 11th. Today again I will continue our discussion on atomic structure. So as on date I had already explained you that how proton was discovered, how electron was discovered, how attempt was done to explain the arrangement of these subatomic particles inside the atom. In my previous lecture, I told you about Rutherford's gold foil experiment that tells about a different thinking regarding the structure of atom. Now, as I told you yesterday, that on the basis of this Rutherford's gold foil scattering experiment, Rutherford proposed his model of atom. You know, first model of atom was proposed by Thomson, in which he told that entire positive charge of atom is uniformly distributed and electrons are embedded in it like seeds of watermelon are embedded in the red colored kernel of watermelon. Then this gold foil scattering experiment was done, and as I told you, the results were incredible. In the words of Rutherford, that results of this experiment was so incredible, it's like firing a bullet on a piece of paper and it comes back and hits you. As the outcome of Rutherford's gold foil scattering experiment, it is told that atom has got lot of hollow space first. Second, entire positive charge is concentrated at one place. Third, this place where this positive charge is concentrated is quite small in comparison to total volume of atom. Now, on the basis of our current understanding, we try to explain these observations that atom has got a very small nucleus that contains protons and neutrons, and these electrons, they revolve in circular orbits around the nucleus. So alpha particles that had passed through these areas, they don't show any deviation, and we concluded that atom has lot of hollow space. Now few alpha particles that pass through nearer to this positively charged nucleus, alpha particles are positively charged, nucleus is positively charged, so they deviated with mild angles, and we concluded that all the positive charge of atom is concentrated at one place. Finally, there were few alpha particles which directly collide with the nucleus, and deviations more than 90 degree or even 180 degree are observed. So this shows that this place where this positive charge is concentrated is very small and is quite strong also. So on direct collision with this point, when alpha particle has gone and directly collided with this part, alpha particle suffered with deviations more than 90 degree. And on the basis of these observations, Rutherford proposed his model. Now, what are the main points of Rutherford's atomic model. First, he introduced the concept of nucleus in atom. Rutherford proposed that entire positive charge and entire mass of an atom is concentrated at one place, and that place is called nucleus. And electrons revolve around this positively charged nucleus in the similar way as planets revolve around the sun in the solar system, and because of which these electrons are also called as planetary electrons. Third, he said that required centripetal force for the circular motion of electrons around the nucleus is obtained by mutual force of attraction between negatively charged electrons and positively charged nucleus. We all know that for the circular motion of any body, any particle, two forces are required. One is called centripetal force, another is called centrifugal force. So if electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a circular path, then there also we require centripetal force, and this required centripetal force is obtained by the mutual force of attraction between this positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electrons. So this was the Rutherford's model that has given the first insight about our modern understanding. What was the major points of difference between Rutherford's model and Thomson's model? In Thomson model, atom was considered as continuous entity. But here there was a line of demarcation. As per Rutherford, entire positive charge and mass of atom is centered at one place, that place is called nucleus. Second, electrons revolve around this nucleus in the similar way as planets revolve around the sun in solar system. Third, required centripetal force for the circular motion of electrons is gained by the mutual force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electrons. So this is all about Rutherford's model. Now, then science moved forward. By the time more observations has came into the light and few objections were being raised towards this Rutherford's model also. What was those observations? There is a concept which is called electromagnetic theory. It says that whenever any charged particle is subjected to the acceleration, it loses its energy. So once the electrons are revolving around this nucleus continuously, they are expected to lose energy and they are supposed to fall on the nucleus. But this does not happen. If this would have happened, atom never have existed. But we have everything around us, that means atom is stable. Secondly, Rutherford was able to tell that electrons revolve around the nucleus in the same way as planets revolve around the sun. But Rutherford was not able to tell that what is the actual distribution of these electrons. Thirdly, Rutherford's model was also not able to explain. Rutherford's model was also not able to explain this spectrum, observed spectrum of atoms. So these were the drawbacks of Rutherford's model. Students, today I am keeping this lecture very small intentionally. As you know that class 11th was mainly headed by Aman sir. But now onwards class 11th will be headed by Manoj Jha sir. So today I will share class code to you in our previous class and I request all of you to join that class. And from today onwards all the contents of class 1 will be uploaded only to the class of Jha sir. Thank you.